That's right. Welcome back to another episode of the Entrepreneur Showdown. My name is Dan Franks. That guy over there, that's Joe Cassandra. And today, we tackle some tough topics. First, we're going to tell you what mistakes you should make when you first get out of college, or just when you step into the business world in general. Then, we're going to talk about girl power and just what kind of waves women can make in the entrepreneur world. And then, we welcome a guest who's very keen on the girl power concept. In fact, he just did a podcast series on girl power, so we're going to bring him on to welcome him to the debate. And that's Joey Kissimmee. And that's right, folks. It's time for the main event of the Entrepreneur Showdown. And in today's main event, we welcome Joey Kissimmee from IncomePress.com. For nearly 10 years, Joey was working full-time at Walmart, and during that time was also getting involved in various online businesses. In early 2010, Joey had grown his online businesses to the point that they were making more money for him than his day job. So he made the leap into full-time online entrepreneurship and has never looked back. Joey is known as one of the web's best email marketers and is currently the host of one of my favorite podcasts personally, the Income Press Podcast. He now classifies himself as a pro blogger, an info product creator, and an app and software developer. Joe Cassandra here in the studio and I just wrapped up round 2 of the Showdown with a discussion of Joey's recent 3-part podcast series he called Girl Power, where he talked with 3 great female entrepreneurs about their histories and also had some discussion with them about their role as females in the entrepreneurial world. Today, we want to talk with Joey about a few items with a focus on the whole concept of girl power. So without further ado, it's time for the main event. Joey, what's up?
Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan and Joe, thank you for having me on this show.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We're super excited about this, and we're taking this topic on. We feel like it's one that not many people have addressed, but you put forth the effort to have this Girl Power series, and we really admire that, and we enjoyed it a lot, so we wanted to talk directly with you about it.
Sure thing, yeah.
So just to get started, before we get into the questions, let everyone know where they can go to find out your backstory, your history, and all of that.
The best place to find anything about me and all the stuff that I'm up to, IncomePress.com.
Easy enough. Mm-hmm. Now, to get things kicked off, kind of give us what your motivation was for hosting this 3-part Girl Power series.
Well, for a while, ever since I started the Income Press podcast, the podcast show, I wanted to bring in some really strong and independent and empowering women to the show. And I wanted to wait till I had like more than just one, so I could do like a series of them, you know. And one of the main motivations for me is I'm a real strong believer in the whole girl power thing, you know. Growing up, it was just me and my 2 brothers and my dad, so it was just my mom. And my mom always, you know, put that in our heads, hey, you know, respect women and all that stuff. It's, you know, women are you know, the thing. And so even till this day, I open up the doors for women. I say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, miss, you know, very respectful. And then when I started my family early at 17, you know, it was girls. So it was just me, my wife, my 2 older children. I got an 18-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old daughter. So one thing that I always taught them or try to teach them is that, you know, women don't need a man or don't need to rely on anyone. They could be their own women, their own person. They could be independent, empowering, strong-minded, and basically do whatever the hell they want. So I wanted to bring women to the show that embodied that. And that's what the whole show was about. The whole series with Amy Porterfield, Natalie Sisson, and Natalie Luzier. And also for some of my audience, a lot of my women, I have a huge audience that are women, and I get asked a lot of questions like, you know, how do I get started? How do I do this? Me being a woman, how do I get into this? So,
why do you think your audience is mostly, well, maybe not mostly, but you have a large womanly base?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's not like I just woke up one day and say, I'm going to target women and build a list of women. The reason I know this is, well, one, from my demographics, from looking at my, you know, the analytics and stuff. A large portion of my readership or readers are women who come to my sites. And also by a lot of the questions, I like to ask a lot of questions to my audience, to my subscribers. And a lot of them, you know, when they come back, you know, I'm a mother of 3, a woman or whatever, trying to get into this. So that's one of the ways I know that there's a large portion of women in my community.
Yeah, and looking through the comments from all your previous podcast episodes, it's pretty apparent that you do have, I would say, a pretty even balance of men and women. So that's pretty admirable. And I think something Joe and I discussed that we were maybe trying to get wanting to get your opinion on. Is it a misconception that there's the online business world is dominated by men, or is that truth?
It depends on what you're doing and where you're going. For example, the interview I did with Natalie Luzier, she's in two different worlds. She's in a world where it's dominated by women, that the women are the majority, leaders. And then she's also in this niche of ours, the how to make money niche, which is dominated by men. So I think it depends, but in our niche is definitely not a misconception. It is a truth. It is a male-dominated space, but women are just easily dominating because of that factor that it's male-dominated, and they stick out like a sore thumb. And from speaking with these three women, that seems to be the case with them.